Good morning, good afternoon, good evening across the country, around the world. Welcome back to the Kerbal Space Program, a 1.1. Got a few more of the mods to kick in, like Eve. I think this is Eve. It's partially Eve. It's mostly Eve. It looks cool. I got volumetric clouds back. They're on medium resolution because high resolution in my system were not happy. More on that later. I had quite a few crashes, so I've played around with things. I think I've got it mostly stable now. Anyway, I did launch a mission. Actually, I've done a few missions off camera. I launched a shuttle style up to the space station Halcyon. I had a mission to ferry 2 tourists up to the space station, and I did, and they're still there. I left them there, but for some while I was there, I used the shuttle that was docked there to ferry back Cora and Mirix and 1 or 2 others. So they're back down on the ground now. What that netted us, a whole crap ton of science. So first things first, let's collect all the science, or all the things that we can. Awesome. So our science tree is maxed out. We still have almost 4,000 science. So I think it is now time. Setup cost? Yeah. Yes. So now I can make a whole bunch of money. I don't need that much money. Anyway, now for every science point that we get pure money. We don't really get any science, it just gets pure money, which is pretty cool, I think. Oh yeah, there's new waves. I don't know how far we can scroll. Not that far. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, 1.1 still going pretty good. I got a few more of the mods, like I said, to work. The biggest ones that I'm missing still are Science Alert and Kerbal Alarm Clock. Because we're here at Kerbin? Yes, Kerbin. Oh yeah, see, look at those clouds. We got the auroras going on, both north and south, so that's cool. We got city lights. So yeah, I think that's pretty neat. I think this is actually the stock visual enhancements mod versus, and it's part of Eve. I'm not sure. You can kind of have both installed, but I think having both installed was a bit much. But this, I like this. This looks pretty realistic. I mean, the clouds don't move with the planet that much. They kind of stay static, but it still looks better than just stock. Anywho, I flew a shuttle mission up to the Halcyon. That station had so many parts to it, it crashed, I think, about 20 different times around the station. So I ended up having to... Well, I finally got it up there and just kept quick saving, and finally got it back down. And I landed the shuttle, though I landed like just on the land over here. I didn't make it over to the Kerbal Space Center over there. But it was close. It was a close thing. It was close. Still figuring out the landing parameters for that little shuttle that I built. But after that, I went back to the space station. I actually broke off the 2 Antilles ships, docked them together, and sent them away on a slightly different orbit. They've progressed around quite a bit. I guess they're on a slightly lower orbit, so they're going a little faster than the space station. But yeah, there's that. I also launched a satellite to Minmus, so that was something. Just checking up on things, because again, I don't have any Kerbal alarm clocks, so that's got a lot of time. Okay. And then I know Scansat Ike is the next one. He is in 12 days. So I have 12 days until that happens. So in the meantime, we're going to launch... Well, we're going to launch a shuttle back up to... Let's go back to this. We're going to launch a shuttle back up to the space station. Dock it again. Partly because it's fun, and also just to get the tourists back off the space station. They're there. I'm not sure what happened. I think... yes, I think because I launched them in the shuttle up there, docked it, transferred them. And that's cool. They're hanging out in the space station. I think they're still there. We're going to click on it and see them still there. I think because I brought the same ship down with somebody else, I think they got unhappy. But I believe they should all be in here. Yeah, it's these 4 guys. They are the tourists. So they're still there. I don't know what happened or why. Also, Capcom, even though it says it's there, that's not quite correct. And then I have Contracts Plus, which also is not quite correct. So those are some mods I got to work out still. But Mech Jeb is still going strong. Alright, so we'll get down to the Space Center, and I'll show you the shuttle that I launched after a few sets of trial and error. I took a lot from what I've seen from Scott Manley, because he did a few of these in his early days for testing out, and I got a lot of good shtiff from that. I tried launching a big, like, huge winged SSTO, single staged orbit from the runway, but it didn't behave quite the way I wanted it to. So instead, I built a shuttle, and let's see, small wing Mark II, yes. Load. And there it is. We got the 3.75 millimeter main tank, RCS control, aerodynamic cones. I know the real space shuttle, these are SRBs, and this is just a tank, but hey, let's have fun with it. And initially, I didn't have these two thud motors here, so this guy would want to skew that away. But once I put these thud motors on, I was like hands off the keyboard, and it flew just beautifully. Just tap here and there, set it to prograde, and it behaved wonderfully. These wings, something I noticed about these wings. Oh, okay. Interesting. You can fill the wings with fuel if you want, which I find really cool / weird. But that's only liquid fuel. I've never played much with the shuttle wings. These are the big shuttle wings. Yeah. Oh, that was something I want to do. I need to go through and redo some of the RCS. I need to put more of, you can barely see it, this style, the RCS anywhere that can swivel and put RCS, because it was rather unbalanced for doing RCS things. Just give me just a minute to do RCS mods, and then we'll take this guy out to the launch pad. See you in a second. Alright, we're on the launch pad, ready to launch this bad boy. Took me quite a few trial and errors to get this guy right. It will start drifting a little bit this way, but it usually isn't too bad. I did replace all the RCS with the RCS anywhere, so there's actually 4 all the way around that guy there. There's 2 up front just to help out, and these guys in the back. You can see it just right there and just right there. But that should help us. Oh, that reminds me. Plane limit, like 59. That way you're not tapping into the solar panels. And this guy, I don't want you to use him yet. Cool. Oh yeah, I noticed one of the new parts, big flat solar panels. That was one of the other new parts that I hadn't realized was there. Anywho, let's get this bad boy launched. I think we can leave it at half throttle. So how's the staging? Engines, and then the things, and then breakaway the 2 radial guys. Yes, and then breakaway the big one. Cool. Here goes nothing. Ooh. Whoopsie. Well, it made it. Alright, now I think we back off a bit to, about 90%, 95%. But yeah, with the 2 thuds mounted right there, it gives us just enough to push like straight through the center of mass. It launches beautifully. Just beautifully. Honestly, these guys are alright, but they burn through so quickly. Wow. And there they go. Goodbye. And they fall away. The first time I launched this, I actually got this whole assembly up into space. And when I went to separate this, unfortunately, this guy was actually attached to the ship, the fuselage. It wasn't attached to the decoupler, so it just sat there all connected. I was like, no, I can't dock this whole thing. I had to revert the whole thing. Oh, whoops. We can start... no, not to the north. What am I doing? Not to the south. Not to the east. Or to the west. East. There we go. Let's get that going. I should have done that gravity turn a bit sooner. Let's get that over just a bit more. Just too busy talking. Okay, we're going plenty fast now. We got a really healthy thrust-to-weight ratio. It actually takes a long time for all of this to burn away. once I get to a certain height, I actually have to, once I get into space, I actually have to drop this down to about 33%. Honestly, at that point, it hardly fires. You're really just firing these guys, mostly. Let's see how we do it, Okay, I think we're doing all right. Yeah, I actually really enjoy launching these shuttles. It reminds me of, like, the U.S. space shuttles. It's really cool. And I think it's a new, fun twist on launching a shuttle. It's off-center. The party wants to find a way to actually attach two of these guys so that it is centered. Well, that's not necessary. But I really do enjoy launching this way. I think it's really fun. Makes it feel like you're actually flying not a plane, but a ship, a craft type of thing. Okay, we're getting up high enough. We might hit a little bit of atmospheric or heating effects, but I know that now the thrust is going to be getting funky. No, that was us hitting the orbital instead of just the surface. So we're going to hit RCS on, and RCS will help us stay where we want to be. But our orbit's coming up nicely. Good. Nice and flat. This is a nice... Yeah, this is a nice flat trajectory. I didn't even check where the space... Okay, space station is behind us. We're going to go for a lower orbit, probably around like 120 to 130. So... Whoop, getting there. I'm going to go for 130. Here we are. 130. Beautiful. Alright. And now, because I can, spin that around me. We're still in the atmosphere. Barely. But I do rather enjoy this part. These guys. Alright. Now that we're getting into space, we're going to drop this guy down to about... one more. Almost. Yeah, close enough. 33.5. And our apoapsis is there. Ab maneuver. Come on. Good. 120. 139. That's high. Oh, we're a little off too. That's fine. We'll circularize first, then we'll match things. Yeah, that'll be good. We'll... Oh wait, no, it's behind us. We want it to catch up to us. Balls. No, I'm still going to go for a lower orbit and then catch up to it around. You would have to go back to the Space Center in advance. A few days will be okay. No, I don't want it to be that high. That'll do. That'll do. Alright. Yay for mech jeb. Now we just sit back and watch. But I'm pretty confident that this guy at 33% and these 4 engines up here and the RCS is able to maintain a stable flight pattern. Something odd that I noticed though while I was flying, what's it called? That space plane, the SSTO, that I, tried for a little bit. As this type of rocket burns, fuel here burns, and then the fuel here burns, and that's kind of standard. In the plane, it burned evenly at all the sections, like kept the weight distribution distributed, which is good in a lot of ways, I think, but it was also kind of weird. It took me by surprise. Usually the plane does that, and then the tail gets heavier, but I guess this makes it more stable? I'm not sure. I'm sure there's a reason for that design. Just not sure what it is. Alright, we are now in orbit. And yeah, sometimes these get a little squirrely at the end because of the way the ship is, but close enough. Stop. Stop with the rotating. Alright. So our apoapsis is 132, periapsis is 98. So that should get us going a bit quicker around than the space station, which is just fine. Oh. Let us also, because, again, you got, what's it called? Use it. Oh, set as target. Ah! Execute. I'm right on top of it. So that might not work out that well. But it'll get us closer. I mean, we're pretty close as it is, I think. do. What's our descending node? 0. Good, so we're on the same orbit. And so now, let's see if this guy will do it. Create a node. In 1 day. Okay, I can live with that. It's enough time to get around ahead of it, and that gets us 5.3 kilometers in. Cool. Oh, this guy's not gonna like that, is it? Well. Oh, that's interesting. Where that maneuver node was kind of around all over the place. That was quite interesting. And now we sit back and time accelerate, unfortunately only at 50. So it's going to take a while. I'll get back to you guys in just a second once we have gotten to that spot. See you in a bit. Okay, so it's gone around for nearly a day. We've been in orbit for a day. And now we're on our final orbit around. Oof. Sorry, I got just tired of following it around. We're on our final orbit around to our maneuver node. Yeah, it's interesting. The descending node is doing a weird thing where it's like it keeps flip-flopping, which is kind of interesting because there shouldn't be any difference. Oh well. We'll still make it work. We're still within a 1.2 degrees, so it's still certainly doable. Alright, so the ship's realigning itself on its maneuver node. Then it'll warp up to this position, and then we'll get our encounter. Yeah, we'll get this fine-tuned. I think you all know how to do this part. I'll just show you the final docking maneuver into the station, because it's dorsal? Ventral? Dorsal, I think. Yeah, dorsal fin. Yeah, it's a dorsally mounted docking port. So we'll just show that final approach into that. Because we'll do this burn. Whoa. Excellent. Stop drifting. And then, so that's 14.6. And again, yay for MechJeb. Create node. 0.3, and that should get us 0.2 kilometers. Excellent. Execute next node. God, I love MechJeb. I'm so glad they updated it. My only qualm is that it has this bit of MechJeb, which is kind of annoying. I mean, not everybody uses Module Manager, but it sits on top of these things. I wish I could. I can't drag it around somewhere, right? No. I wish I could drag that to this side. I mean, it wouldn't. See, it goes to here. It might interfere with staging, but still. Alright. So we're getting up to our maneuver node. To better? Make better? Our encounter. Our rendezvous. It's at the ascending node, interesting. But it's still 0.2 kilometers, which is great. There it goes. Fix the drift. Come on. Excellent. We are 0.3 kilometers away. Cool. So, at this point, things will slow down quite a bit once it starts drawing the space station. Yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. At that point, I'll probably have ditched this guy because he only has a little bit of fuel left, but I still like to use it to maneuver to get the final maneuvering into the space station. But you won't see this guy anymore. We'll have ditched him, and he'll be on his way. We'll be bringing it back with this guy. That'll probably be it for this episode, and then the next one, I'll do landing. Unless I have to take care of some ScanSat, Ike, or Duna. Anywho, see you in a bit when we're at the station. Alright, we're on our final approach, honestly, again, to the space station. I know I thought I might ditch this stage. I ended up not. I've never really played with these before, but the Place Anywhere blah blah blahs, RCS guys, not really all that useful. I thought they would rotate a lot more and give you a lot more utility out of it, but they do not, or they did not. So, trying to fly this ship was really, really hard. This guy still has a whole bunch of the standard, what's it called? The standard RCS four-way pods, and they work much better, give me a lot more maneuverability. These guys, they only fire sometimes, not even, they don't seem to swivel quite as much as I thought they would. Yeah, so I thought they were swivels. I guess not. They're just ports in one direction. Whoopsie. But we are closing. Our docking port is open. How are we doing? Yeah, electrical charge is fine. Okay. Kind of at a funky, twisted angle here, but that's okay. We're going to bring ourselves around to it just a little bit. Slow ourselves down, relative. Get this guy lined back up again. Now it's weird, there ends up being a lot of drift between the nose of the thing and that, which I don't really understand. Maybe it's because the thing is so far back on this ship. Whoa. How close do we get to the solar panel? It's not that bad. Okay. Sorry. Okay, let's stop that. Now we're just going to keep it lined up manually. And now we close oh so slowly. I think one of the next mods I'll research is a better RCS module, because that might be helpful. Oh, there it is. Interesting. Alright, so we're closing. And this guy's gonna, yeah, he's gonna fit. He's not gonna take out any solar panels. It'll be just fine. It'll be close, but it'll be just fine. At this point now, it's just a simple docking maneuver. Like I said, slightly modified because I got this big thing underneath, but that gives me way more control. And this is an early version of, for me, for space planes. I don't usually do too much with space planes, so this is kind of an experiment. But yeah, I thought all these guys on the sides would be able to do more, but no, they just spit out in the direction that they face. I guess they don't really swivel that much. Oof. Ah! Ooh. Oh, that was the wrong button to push. Oh, I saw the magnetics. I felt it. I felt it. Hey, and we're docked. Beautiful. So now we can retrieve our 4 civilians, our 4 tourists, load them up here, and burn back to the surface. But that'll be next on the next episode. Yeah, we'll do that real quick, I think. I'm going to check and make sure we don't need to get to the scan stats for Ike yet. I think we have 6 or 7 days for that. Anywho, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. If you like, hit subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. Yeah, thanks for watching. Catch you later.